I think, particularly in this room at this convention, there are so many of us who have so much to say to women, and we don't. Why? Because we're scared. And I'll tell you why. We have good reason to be scared. So this speech is everything we want to say to women. Now, we only have an hour. So I'm going to speak really fast. It's going to sound like faxing. But no, so we don't have a lot of time, so I've tried to really sort of boil it down to the essentials. But whatever I miss, just let me know and we'll talk about it. Oh, also, I'm going to do a workshop this afternoon at 1:30. Just, I've done a call-in show for like 15 years. So just, come and we'll talk philosophy about whatever your issues are, whatever you want to work through. We'll do that, and that'll be a lot of fun. Very powerful, I'm sure. So I'm going to generalize. Just brace yourself. I'm going to generalize. Because, there's this rule on the internet and in public discourse that you say, here's a general rule. Here's an exception. I know. I know. Men on average are taller than women. Oh, yeah? I know a tall woman. And that's how you take discourse out back of the woodshed and put a bullet in its head. So yes, I'm going to generalize, and not you guys so much, but whenever this ends up out on the web, people are going to be like, exception, 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 exception. It's like, I know. But we're going to do it anyway. Because, we're talking about men and women, and there are generalities to be made. So the first question is, and you guys let me know what you think. I don't think I'm alone in being scared of telling women the truth. It seems to be, if you ever follow my Twitter account, you can see that stating basic biological and evolutionary truths appears to be attempting to dry hump a wasp's nest. The guys who laugh are the guys who've tried it. So that's like vivid personal experience, right? I'm not pleased to see you. I just humped a wasp nest earlier. The thing I love about live speaking is I never know what I'm going to say. So I say things like that, and sentences I never thought I'd say in my life. Okay, so if you've been nervous, just throw your hand up and you bellow something out. If you've been nervous, oh yeah, okay, the wasp nest guys. Why do you think, or is it true for you, that you feel nervous to tell women basic truths like there's a wall, stuff like that, right? What do you think? Why are you nervous?
Well, they don't accept it. It could get real heated.
Could get heated, okay. They won't accept it. What else? They will freak out? Yeah, based on what evidence? I'm just kidding. No, what?
They want to shoot the messenger.
They want to shoot the messenger, okay. Anything else?
Most of the time they won't understand it anyways.
They won't understand it anyways, okay. So it's like, teaching cha-cha to a meerkat or something, okay. All right, anything, but that wouldn't be fear, that would just be like, why bother, right? So is it fear of blowback? Is it fear of being attacked? Right? But, women are smaller in general, and, it's online, so they're not like in the room, right, with some machete. So I think that there's a good reason why we're scared. Because women can kill us. And I don't mean physically, I mean genetically. Because we're talking about the West here, right? So in the West, consent has been the norm for reproduction for thousands of years. We don't wrap our women in a bag and keep them in the house, right? At least, I hope hell you don't. So, what can women do to us that's so terrifying? Well, they can say no. They can say no. Do you know what percentage of men throughout history have not reproduced?
60%.
60%? Anyone else? 98. Are you from Saudi Arabia? I'm just. So it depends where you look at it, but the number is around 40% of men did not reproduce. Now that sucks. Like, I think, what is it, 3 billion, 4 billion years of evolution? I think of all that struggle, like some single-celled organism eyeballing the open air saying, all right, we're going to make a break for it. We're going out of the ocean. We're hitting the sand, boys. And fighting and dying and then like 4 billion years, and then she says no. That's it. It's like the Texas sharpshooter just blows off your balls because the evolution of your entire line stops there when she says no. Like, here's an interesting question. Tell me what you guys think. Why on earth do men go to war? Now, there are wars like people are invading, guys are invading your local space, right? So there are those wars where it's like, okay, I regret, I gotta pull out my sword and go fight or whatever. But, like Syria, Kuwait, Iraq, I mean, just like, why? Why do guys go to war? Why do you think? I mean, I remember thinking about this as a kid, right? And now there's the draft and all of that, but I think it was in the First World War, hundreds of thousands of American men just said, you want the draft? Here's my butt. And they just didn't go. Not much happened. Why? Why do men go and fight in these useless wars? It's not like they're well paid. Yes?
To prove to people that they're not a sissy, basically.
Depussification, that certainly is it's a Brazilian wax, I think it's called. No, should I bring more of my inner censor to bear on the conversation or not? No? Okay. All right, then I'm going to just not. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you don't want to be called a pussy, right? Okay, what else? Why? I mean, you're risking life and limb, trauma. Yeah. To preserve life. Well, yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, really. War in Syria, Libya, I mean, this doesn't preserve life, right? Honor? Okay, honor, right, that's fair.
Preemptive defense.
Oh yeah, because all those Libyans were coming over in canoes, right? But yeah, that's what the story is, right? Sorry?
Power.
But the soldier doesn't have power, because the soldier has to take orders, right?
Well, the illusion of that.
The illusion of power, yeah. Now, I would say, you guys know, you're woke enough, right, to these issues. You know about the white feather campaign?
Yeah.
You guys heard this? How many people have or haven't? You have? Okay, well, real brief then. So, a man can be killed with a feather. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. And I'm not just talking some, like, Swedish BDSM thing, but, or am I? No, I'm not. So, a man can be killed with a feather because in the First World War, everybody was, like the British were very enthusiastic. Why? Because there hadn't been a war in Western Europe since the end of the Napoleonic Wars in 1815. The Franco-Prussian, a little bit here and there. But so everyone was like, oh, I know what war is. War is like all those paintings that we see. There's a white horse, you're charging, there's cheers, there's, like all the stuff you play as a kid, like that's war. And they were all signing up. And they were terrified it was going to be over by Christmas. That was the word, right? 1914. Oh, man, it's going to be over by Christmas. I got to get in there and get my stories and get my medals and my heroism. Spoiler, it wasn't over by Christmas. Right? First World War just went on. And really was the greatest catastrophe to hit the Western world ever. Wiped out almost all of the economic gains from the Industrial Revolution, so all those kids got black lung for nothing. And after a while, people were like, I don't really want to go. Like, it's trench warfare, which is just about the worst thing. The truth came out that war is not riding up a hill with a sword and cheering and, right, a heroic, noble death if necessary, but war is sitting in a half-frozen, muddy ditch with rats gnawing off your toes while some asshole 20 miles away pushes a button and blows you up. And of course, there was the Christmas peace, where the British and the German soldiers said, hey, it's Christmas, let's just play football, soccer. It was terrifying to the powers that be, that people might realize they have much more in common with the people across the trench than the people high up in their power structure. So men didn't want to go. So enlistments just cratered. So women would take a white feather and they would walk up and down the streets, and if they saw a military-aged man who was not in uniform, they would hand him a white feather, which was a symbol of cowardice. And this was terrifying to men. Now, this makes no sense when you think about it, but then it does. So it makes no sense because it's like, ooh, a feather. Sure, I'll go get my ass blown off in a trench. But here's the thing. The reason that men go to war is because women won't sleep with them if they don't. That's it. And this motivates so much of what we do. And it's not crazy and it's not neurotic. It makes perfect sense, evolutionarily speaking. Let's say you go to war, and let's say you have a 50% chance of dying. But if you don't go to war, no woman will sleep with you. For the continuance of your genetics, is it better to go to war or not?
Better to go to war.
Better to go to war. If you go to war, you got a 50% chance of passing on your genes. If you don't go to war, you have 0% chance of passing on your genes. That's why we're scared. Because all the men who said, I don't care what women think, offended and upset women, where they were like, no thanks, boy. Sorry, we're closed. They used the old, you can get birth control for 10 cents. Just hold it there. So, if women said, we're not going to sleep with you if you don't fight, you go fight. Because then you've got a chance to continue your genes. Otherwise, it ends right there. So we're scared. Now, do you guys do Twitter? Just hands up if you do. All right. Okay, so on Twitter, there's kind of like a cliche. Like if you upset women, what do the women say? Incel, right? Involuntary celibate, right?
Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? What else? You live in your mom's basement, right? Neckbeard, right?
No penis.
Sorry?
No penis. Racist.
Small penis. Not necessarily no penis. No functional penis, I suppose. That's the incel thing, right? So, yeah, you can't get laid, small penis, your mommy issues, and so on, right? Now, that, of course, is, you know how like they do things in the military? They'll paint you with a target that you can't see, and then some other infrared thing points out the target. So women, what they're trying to do is draw a moat around you, and they'll say this very explicitly online. They'll say, ladies, here's a symbol, here's exactly who you should never date. And they'll broadcast it out across the gynocentric undertow network, right? Don't date this guy, right? That's genetic death. It's the rejection sharpshooter that takes off your balls. Genetically, they are warriors, because a warrior can end your bloodline if he kills you before you have children or kills your children as well. Women can do the same thing. Now, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Of course, women should be able to say no to anyone and everyone that they want, but let's at least recognize that that's a very powerful thing. And all the men who said, I don't care, offended women, the women didn't sleep with them, and that indifference was weeded right out of the gene pool.